Welcome to the Bill Scott Show. I'm your host, Bill Scott. I'd like to take this time to welcome you to the best political news show online. Today's show will focus on Congress's unwillingness to post congressional bills on the internet for the American people to look at them. All this and more when we come back. The Bill Scott Show is brought to you by PoliticalGuardDog.com. Welcome back. Over 80% of Americans want the U.S. Congress to post online the bills the Congress is about to vote on 2 days prior to a vote. This is so the American people can read them. Well, that sounds like a good idea. After all, the Congress, they work for us, don't they? So this is going to happen, right? Not so fast. Not if the Democrats have anything to say about it. In recent weeks, Democratic leadership refused to allow these measures to come before a vote. When asked why, Senator Max Baucus said they couldn't figure out how to do it. Wow. I'm sorry. If your staff can't figure out how to post a bill online, well, here's a hint for you, Senator. Get a new staff. High school kids are posting fight videos from cell phones moments after they happen. And our own government can't figure out how to post a Word document? Senator, that's as dumb as I didn't inhale. What the Congress is going to figure out soon enough is the American people have had it. It's not politics as usual anymore. I don't care what the bill is. I don't care how much I support it. When my elected officials are not willing to let the American people look at it before a vote, I'm sorry, they're hiding something. In a recent Rasmussen poll, 83% of Americans want the bills posted online 2 days prior to a vote. Another 64% want it online 2 weeks prior to a vote. I kind of personally agree with the 2 weeks. The only reason the Congress has been in such a rush is because they're trying to force through an extreme leftist agenda and pass them without the American people knowing. Stimulus bill, cap and trade, and almost health care. Luckily for us, the American people woke up before that one happened. And when they did, I'm sure you could hear, if you were in the room, you could hear Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Harry Reid saying, "Man, we almost fooled them." It's high time for the American people to fight back. Not just against government-run health care. That's too small. That's just one issue. But for this out-of-control Congress and White House that don't think they work for us anymore. No matter how hard the Democrats try to frame the fact that the Republicans are being roadblocks because we don't like the president, we don't like the way the Democratic-controlled government is wielding its power. You know, it's doing these things without regards to the will of the American people or the Constitution. The government is on the verge of stripping us of our very liberties that we hold dear. With things like forcing us to get health care. So, let me think about this one for a second. If I'm rich, which I'm not, and I wanted to pay for my health care as I go, then according to some proposals, not only can I be fined, a pretty decent amount of money, but I can also go to jail. This is not regulating, interstate commerce or transportation. It's infringing on our security of person. Look it up, Congress. It's called the U.S. Constitution, and you're stepping all over it. Now, I talk to people every day, and it's it's no surprise. We talk a lot about politics. What I have in front of me are some questions that that I've been asked about in the recent days, and what I thought is I thought I'd take this time to share them with you and answer them here on the Bill Scott Show. The first one, this one comes from a Texas man. He and I had a really good conversation about the posting of the bills online. In fact, he's a computer tech guy. And here was his question or his comment. He says, well, of course the Congress doesn't want to post the bills online. If they did, nothing would get done. He also said that there would be too much infighting, and the Congress would spend all its time in the world defending the bill. And his point was basically, if that happens, I mean, the government becomes stagnant. Well, I mean, I can understand his concern, but here was my comment back to him. I said, now, nothing's getting done now. As far as the fact that the Congress will have to defend their bills, the problem is their bills are, indefensible. They're packed with pork, favors for their friends, and this is on both sides of the aisle. And so, not posting them on the internet, gives them carte blanche to do whatever they want to do, because they know the moment that stuff hits the internet, those little backroom deals and those little favors they've got in for either Acorn or the oil companies, depending on which side of the aisle you're on, that the American people will see that and become outraged. Now the American people are already upset, as we've talked about, and and there is that, the pork websites that talk about the highest pork projects, but those happen once, and then people lose track. If the American people get used to the fact, either put it on their favorites or whatever, used to the fact that they're going to be posting these bills online, they don't have to believe or not believe Fox News, CNN, CBS, NBC, MSNBC. It's good to go to those locations and get the initial content. Hey, they're coming up with a health care bill today, and here's what we think the problems are. And then they can go to the website and take a look at the bill. They can do word searches, as long as it's made functional, and they can read this stuff for themselves. So, that's really the problem, is they're afraid that those little, deals that they've made is going to become public to the American people, and that's just not good for what Congress thinks. Now, of course, it's good for what we as Americans think, but that's really why they're so reluctant to do it. Now, before we get to the next questions, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.